Objects in JavaScript. We are going to see what is object in JavaScript. So let's see. Well, in JavaScript, everything is considered as object. But here we are going to see one specific object which is defined using curly braces. Const obj is equal to this. This is known as an object. Right? Let's print it and see what it is printing. Obj, save it and open console. See, here it is printing an object. So this object, how we can define it? So object in JavaScript is a combination of key value pairs. Like here we can say item 1 is equal to computer, comma item 2 is equal to keyboard. Save it. See here, this is known as property. This item is known as property. This value is known as its value. So what is object? Object is the combination of key value pairs which defines using curly braces. Here we can see this is the property and this is the value. How do we access values in object? Since we know that this is an object, right? We can use we can access the value using two methods. The first method is, let me write it. We can access the values of an object by two methods. First one is by dot. See, obj is an whole object, right? And we want to access this one. So this can be accessed using its key. This is property. We sometimes call it key. Using this property, what its name? See, as it is suggested here, item. Save it. See here we have the result computer. Similarly, we can print obj dot item 2. Here we go. We have all the two values. These key value pairs can be of different data types. Like here, this is a string, right? This is also a string. We can also define num20. Let's print it and see the result. Obj. As you can see, here we have this 20. So second point is, an object can contain different data types. What object can contain? So the first point is it can contain different data types. like here it is a string, here it is number. Can it contain array? Let's make an array here. Always remember, we don't write it like this using assignment operator. No, we write using colon. Here we go. Save it. Why? Not this, not this. See, here we have this array. So we can store an array inside an object as well. See here, how can we access the array? Since how do we access a particular what I can say property using dot notation, like the object name, which is obj in this case, and the name of its property, item 1, item 2. We want to access the array, this one, right? So we can access console.log obj dot array. What it will print? It will print the whole array. Let's save it. See here, we have whole array. What if we want to print just the first element? How we can do that? Before that, let's suppose this is an array. This is defined outside the. Let's suppose this is defined outside standalone like this. Const array is equal to this one. How can we array the first element? How can we access the first element? Using this, like ARR 0, right? So ARR is the name of the array, which is this, and 0 is the index number, so it will print 23, right? Here this array is in an object, and now we know that how to array this array, how to access this array using this object name with dot followed with the name of the array. So here we want to access the 0th index. We just need to print, keep it here as 0. Let's print it and see the result. See, 23. If we want 4, see 1, 4th index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4th index. So this is how we can access the elements of an array inside an object. Now let's go further. Suppose we want to I did this obj2 is equal to obj1. Why it is, sorry, not 1, only obj. Now what will be the value of obj2? Let's print it and see. obj2 is equal to printing, and it's printing the first obj. What is happening here? Like obj1 is this, we have assigned obj2 and we are printing 2. So it's printing the obj1, right? What if I do here like obj2 dot item 1 is equal to, I do what, keyboard, not keyboard, monitor. Now here we are going to see console.log obj1 which is obj console.log obj2. What do you think? What will be the value of now obj and obj2 after applying, after changing the value? I forget to tell you that how to change value. So here, by this way we can change the value, like the object name of this property followed by dot and value, right? Here the question is, what will be the value, what will be the output of obj and obj2? Will it print the same one, or for obj will it print the same one, this one, or the value here will be monitor? And for like what I want to say that, let me copy this. Here I want to say that what will be the output? Will it be like this? Will it, for obj will it be like this, or like this here, monitor? Which one it will be print for the obj and for obj2 also? Which one it will print for obj? Is it this one or this one? Because here we have changed the value of item. So will it be like computer or monitor? Let's print it and see. Here we have printed this below to 1. It is monitor and monitor for both obj and obj2. And this one is for, we have printed before changing the value. So obj2 here, this one, it was computer, and now we have changed the obj2 dot item to monitor, and we have printed obj. It is printing the newest value, and obviously for obj2 it is printing the newest value. Why? Like we changes it via 2, and the changes also leads to via 1 to 1. Why? Because in JavaScript objects are handled in a special way. Let's see why this is happening using a diagram. So this is our memory. When we say obj1, so it create a memory like this. Its value will be, its name will be obj, right? And here value will be item computer, item 2 keyboard, and let me place it some right here. And all the other values, right? So not like this. Let me remove this from here. So this is our whole memory. So when we say obj, so obj will be stored in here in a special area which is known as stack. Here we will have obj, and this is another special section of the memory which is known as heap. This is what? Heap, right? This section will be called heap, and this section will call stack. So this obj will stay here in this stack, and this will be made in heap. This part, where it has gone here. This part will be in the heap, and obj will be in the stack, like this, and obj will be point to this. Obj will be point to this. When here we shaded, here when we say that we made a variable obj2, now obj2 will be made here in this way, in this memory, obj2. And what it's doing, we are placing the value in which was inside obj. So what was obj? Obj is this, and this is a special this is not the primitive data types, it is non-primitive. So in non-primitive, it does not make copy. Here it does not make copy, it will not make copy of obj and stored in obj2. No, the obj2 will be also pointing to this, here, this one. This is how objects are handled internally. Now both will pointing to the same object. Obj1 is also pointing to this one, and obj2 is also pointing to this one. And here what we have done, we have changed what, obj obj dot item1 to monitor. So what is obj2? Obj2 is this. So it will change this, replace computer with monitor. Monitor, right? Let me put it at the place. Yes, now it will be monitor, and now here we are printing both. Here we are printing both obj and obj2. What is obj? Obj is obviously this one, so it will print this one. What is obj2? Obj2 is also this one. That's why both the result is same. Why? Because both the variable is pointing to the same object. Always remember, in non-primitive data types, like suppose this is const num1 is equal to 10, and we shaded const num2 is equal to num1. Here it is copying, the 10 will be copied to num2, right? Like the num1 will be here, num1 will be here, and it will pointing to a here somewhere where 10% in the memory. Num2 will be here, num2, and it will point it will make copy 10 also. And num1 will point to this one, num2 will point to this one, because this is a primitive data types, and primitive data types handle internally like this. When we do like this, when we copy, like when we assign a variable inside another variable, and if it is primitive data type, so it will handle like this. But if it is non-primitive data type, it will not make a copy, it will point to the same object. That's why here when we suppose console.log num1 is num1, console.log num2 is num2, and when I say num2 is equal to 100, and again we are printing, let's see what it will print. Save it, and not this one, this one. Here we go. Where it has gone, let me save it once again. And why it's not printing two times? Is there any num1 I have defined earlier? No. Error. What is the assignment to constant variable? Okay, so here we have assigned to a constant variable, that's why it's making error. Let me make it, where it has gone, here. So let me make it let. We know that we can't change the value if it is defined using, here we go. So initially see num1, this one, this output is num1 is 10, num2 is 10. Here we have assigned to num2 which is 100, and again printing. So num1 is still 10 but num2 is 100. Why? Because here when we say num2 is 100, it internally do like this. It is num2. It will remove 10 with 100. It will remove, firstly it will remove 10, replace 10 with 100. That's why here we are able to see two different results, but here we are seeing the same results. So point is to be noted, if we assign primitive data types like this into another variable, so it will make copy. Point to be noted is, first, if we assign a primitive data type into other variable, then it will make copy. Second point, if we assign a non-primitive data type into other variable, then it will not make copy. Instead, it will point, not the single, both will point to the same object. As here we can see, object is a non-primitive data types, and here we have assigned obj. Here we have assigned obj, where let me find, where it has gone, bro. Like here we have assigned this obj into obj2, so it will not make copy, it will just what it will do, it will make, it will point to the same object. But in case of primitive data type like this, num1 and num2, when I say num1 is equal to num2, so it will make another copy. That's why here we are able to see first time 100 and first time 10 and second time 100 in num2, whereas num1 is still pointing to 100, as we can see. After changing the value of num2, num1 is still pointing to 10. So this is all how JavaScript handles object. Now let's do some till now we have studied only one way of accessing the properties, right? Let me make it comment all these. All these. So till now we have by using dot we can access the value by using dot, right? Let's see the second method. Before this, I will move the object to bottom so that we can see clearly. Now we are going to see console.log using obj using a square bracket item1. Print it and see. Item1 is not defined. Oh, sorry. It will be in the here like this. Computer. Why? Because here we can see item1, this one, its value is computer. If I do console.log using the same, here we have used a square bracket to access value, and here we are going to access the same value using dot. Use dot to access value, printing. See, we have two methods to access. Similarly, we can access what other variables like obj square bracket num console not confirm console.log obj array. See here we have this 20 num, and here we have what array, whole array. What if we want to access only the 0th index? Now we can do like this. See 23, because this is pointing to the array inside the object, which is this one, and since this is an array, now we can use a square bracket dot index to access the elements on their specific position. So these are two methods to access the properties of an object. Let's do some experiment with the object, which is, suppose this is an object. Of course this is an object, right? we want to add like item theory is equal to mouse. We want to add this data inside this. How we can do that? Let's see. Putting data, not putting, inserting. Inserting data in object. In which object? Obj dot, what we want to do? Item theory is equal to mouse. Let's print it. Print the whole object and see the result. See, here we have mouse 3. So this is how we can insert the data inside an object. What if let's suppose, well, let's add an array which is array 2. We are going to add array inside an object. Let's print it. See, here we go. We have array this one. Is it, why it is empty? It should not be. So here we go. Here we can see this array. This array has been added dynamically inside this array. Now let's delete something. Like here we have this array. We want to remove this array from this object. How we can do that? Delete a property from an object. We can use delete obj dot array. Let's print it after deleting obj, yes, and print it before deleting it. Save it. So here we have array. We can see where is the array? Oh, because this Chrome browser automatically updates the array object if we perform operation. That's why we are not able to see the array itself before deleting it. Although it is here, we can see this is array 9. So this result is before deleting it, and this is after deleting. So see, there is no any array. There is no any this array inside this object. So this result is for this, and this one is for this one. Why we are not able to see the array? Because Chrome automatically updates the result internally. That's why here we are able to see array 9, which is this one, but we are not able to see the array elements. Okay, so this is all about inserting, deleting. Although, okay, till now we see how we can create object, how we can access the its property using dot operator and using curly square bracket. Third one, we show how we can add more properties and how we can delete properties. Right? Now we are going to see here this one. Since obj and obj is pointing to the same object, what if we actually want to copy the object inside other object? Like when we say like this, const obj 2 is equal to obj 1, it should make another copy. It should not point it to the same object. Instead, it should make another object like this with same property, like this. Here it should make other space, and all these properties should be here. How we can do that? We can do that using dot spread operator. Now let's print obj2. Object2 is obj2, and how we can confirm that it is the copy, not the exact object? By manipulating the data. Let's say item 1 is equal to monitor, and now we are printing both obj and obj2. Obj2. Let's see the result. Here we can see this one is obj1. Let me add some string. Of course, here we can see obj, yes, after delete obj2, obj2 after delete, and we are going to print it before deleting. Sorry, not after, it will be before. Let's see the result. Here is the result. Here we have copied obj into obj2. We are actually copying. We are not making to point both object to the both variable to the same object. No, we are making copy, and here we have printed before. So let's see obj before deletion. Is it deletion? Not deletion, updation. Let's ignore this. So it's printing computer keyboard 20. Before updation, computer, what is obj2? It is computer keyboard and 20. After deletion or updation, obj is computer keyboard as it was this one. Why? Okay, so we have removed here from array. That's why we are not able to see array. Leave it. So still we can see computer keyboard and 20, whereas in obj2 it is monitor keyboard 20. Why? Because now we have a copy of this object stored in obj2. So this is how we can copy the object inside other object. Now let's see some let's do some other experiment, which is let me make it comment first. Move this from there to here. See, till now this is an object, and we want to print every values. How we can print? Console.log obj dot array, like console.log obj dot num, let me copy it, num2, sorry, item2, and this is num. We have four property and we have see, we have four property in this object and all four property we have printed, but there is a problem. What if we have 50 properties? Do we need to write it 100 times? Like, do we need, in that case we need to write 100 times, which is hectic. Also, we don't know what is the name of the maybe we don't know what is the name of property. We manually need to see the name of the property. That's why we are able to access it, which is quite hectic. Is there any other better way to print all these properties? Yes, we have, using for in loop. This is a special loop which is used to loop over the object. How we can use it? Let's see. For let key in obj. What we are going to do now, what is key here? As I already told you, sometimes this is known as key. So it will loop from firstly, as I said, it is used to loop over the object. So first time it will be what? It will be item 1, the key will be item 1, second time it will be item 2, third time it will be num, fourth time it will be ARR. Let's print key, save it. See here, item 2, num, ARR. We got this property name. We got the property name. And we know that how we can use how we can access the value using property name. How we can access like this, obj dot item1, why obj I, yes, like this. What is the error? Item1 is not defined, oh sorry, like this. So computer, right? Because item1 is computer, and here key is the name of the property, right? So now we can access every value using this. Let me copy it and paste it. Since at each time this should be variable, so we are going to remove this one using key. Now save it. See here, we have printed computer keyboard 20 and this variable, this array. Can you see? And now we can do it in better way. Console.log like key is obj key. Now what is key? First time it will be item, and here we are accessing it. So the item 1 is computer, item 2 is keyboard, number is 20, array is this. See here, item 1 is computer, item 2 is keyboard, it will make more sense if we do like this. Name Shohel, which is my name, Ansari, age 22. Save it. See here, name is Sohail Ansari, age is 22. So this is how we can access the property name, all the properties using for loop. Always remember here this key is referring to this one, name, age and so on. This is how we can loop over object. This is all for today.